The U.S. men's national team has a lot of players in its player pool currently playing overseas, which is a good thing for us because we can still build a team of the week. MLS is in its preseason games right now, and they won't be back until a little bit closer to March. So we are very fortunate to be able to build a team of the week with all of the players that we have playing in Europe. That being said, this team of the week lineup, roster, starting 11 is going to look a little bit funky because there are quite a few players that we have out with injuries, going through contract disputes, or they play early in this week. Some notable names of the players that didn't play over the weekend that either got benched, are injured, or unfortunately they play on Monday and we can't bring them in are Yunus Musa, Giovanni Reyna, Tyler Adams, Noah Kai Banks, Haji Wright, Josh Sargent, Brendan Aronson, and Ricardo Pepi. Again, there's more out there. However, those are some pretty significant names in this series that we don't have the ability to add into. Knowing that we can still build a starting 11 that looks somewhat functional, even though we have that many players missing, is a very, very good thing for us. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the T26 channel where we talk about all things related to the U.S. men's national team. And welcome back to our Team of the Week series where we take a look at the players who performed over the weekend and see if we can build a starting 11 roster out of them. Ideally, we want to track these players and these lineups as we get closer and closer to the 2026 World Cup to try and predict who is going to be in our starting 11 come match day one. Before we get any further, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss anything leading into the 2026 World Cup. And with that, we are going to be able to stick with our 3-4-2-1 formation this week. And we're going to start on our back line, and the anchor of that back line is going to be Chris Richards of Crystal Palace. And Richards started and played the full 90 minutes in a 3-1 loss to Chelsea over the weekend. He wasn't directly responsible for the goals and was solid on the ball, completing 51 of 56 passes. I know it's not a great look when your back line gives up 3 goals, but Richards was not directly at fault, and that is a positive for us. In this performance, he also delivered 2 clearances, 1 interception, and had 2 tackles, winning 3 of his 4 ground duels. What's more exciting is that he also wrapped up this game with a goal after the ball pinged around in the box a bit. Moving to our left center back, we're going to have Austin Trusty. And Trusty started and played 77 minutes in a 2-2 draw for Celtic. He had 2 clearances, 1 interception, 1 tackle, and 1 error that led directly to a shot against. This was not his best game, but we're also limited on the players this week, so he sneaks his way in. For reference, he only completed 60% of his passes, which is way below average for a Celtic center back. Typically, we would expect to see him or CCV, if healthy, completing 90 to 95% of his passes, if not more. Celtic has really struggled this season. Trusty has had some bright moments, but ultimately it's not to the level that we would quite expect for the team. Moving over to our right center back, we have Mark McKenzie of Toulouse. And McKenzie started and played the full 90 minutes in a 2-0 win over Brest this weekend. And he got a clean sheet and an assist this match, which really makes his 7 clearances and 2 tackles that much more impactful for the team. I believe that Mark McKenzie truly has a place in the 26-man roster going into June. Will he start? Maybe, maybe not. I think he's got a place though. All right, now we're going to move to our wingbacks, and we're going to start on the left with Anthony Robinson of Fulham. And this weekend, A-Rob only played 59 minutes in their 2-1 win over Brighton. Thankfully, I haven't seen any report of injury or re-aggravation to his knee, so I think we're just going to be thankful and assume that he got a little bit of rest. In this match, he had 3 clearances, 1 interception, 1 tackle, and completed 29 of his 43 passes. Was this A-Rob's best week? No, definitely wasn't his best week since he's been back from injury either. But again, we're a little limited on selection and performances, so A-Rob, he sneaks in. And let's not forget that he is a top left wing back in the Premier League. We know that the quality's there. Whether it shows up this week or not, we know he's got it. Moving over to our right wing back, we're going to have Tim Weah of Olympique Marseille. And Weah started and played the full 90 minutes in a 3-1 win over the weekend. As I mentioned, Weah is our right wing back for this week, and he also played right wing back for Marseille. And as a right back for Marseille, he got an assist and completed 27 of his 35 passes, while also winning 5 of his 6 ground duels and adding 3 clearances. Weah is attacking well, defending well, and overall has really found his footing and consistency in his form with Marseille. He's in a great place for his own playtime, growth, and development where he didn't quite have that in the past. And I'm really happy for him because Weah is going to be able to provide us depth and quality in multiple positions when it comes to the World Cup. We know that he can play on the right and the left wing in an attacking role, but let's be honest, he's not displacing Pulisic. And ultimately, that right side attacker, I think we want to be a little bit more of a creative player. So I would say that his biggest opportunity for minutes and playtime is going to be as a wingback. And truthfully, I don't think he's going to displace A-Rob as a starter, but he is able to push Serginho Dest. I think that Dest adds a little bit more creativity and Way is more one-dimensional, but we also know that Way is a little bit more consistent when it comes to the defensive side of things. So I think no matter where we play him, Weah has a place in the roster and he's going to get minutes, and it truly could be all over the field. All right, now let's move into our midfield, and we're going to talk about our dual pivot, which is going to consist of Tanner Tessmann and Johnny Cardoso. And Tessmann started and played the full 90 minutes in a 5-2 win over the weekend for Olympique Lyon. And overall, Tanner was his solid, steady, safe self with the ball, and he was productive off the ball. He had 52 touches, completing 25 of 34 passes, and won 6 of his 7 duels. Tanner's emergence over the last 2 seasons has been a real bright spot for the US men's national team player pool and has given us a lot more depth and options in the midfield. Moving over to his partner, Johnny Cardoso of Atletico Madrid. And Johnny started and played 73 minutes in a 3-0 win over Mallorca. Johnny played his role very well, completing 83% of his passes, 75% of his long balls were accurate, and he was holding down the center of the park. It just goes to show the quality that Johnny has because he was injured and he immediately works his way back into the starting lineup. When you're doing that at a club like Atletico Madrid, you clearly have the quality to play. And I think that we need Johnny to be healthy and called into the March camp to take one more shot at proving himself this cycle. He's got what it takes. We need to see that connect at the international level, and I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later. Moving up in our midfield, we have Weston McKennie of Juventus. And Weston started and played the full 90 minutes in a 3-0 win over Napoli. Weston, again, was very solid on the ball, and he defended well. He had 49 touches, 2 key passes, and 5 clearances in this match. It was another strong performance for Weston, even though he was slated at the right back position. It's very odd. He's got a position, but he also has the freedom to really roam and play wherever on the pitch. If you look at his heat map here, you can see that he's truly all over the place. Moving forward, we have our front three, starting with Christian Pulisic of AC Milan on the left. And Pulisic started off on the bench and was subbed in the 69th minute in a 1-1 draw against Roma. Overall, he was pretty bang average for the 20 minutes that he played. The downside really is that he's nursing an injury, and that's limiting his productivity and playing time. The positive is that he usually looks very solid when he is on the pitch. In his 21 minutes, he had 10 touches, completed 3 of 4 passes, and had 1 successful dribble and drew 1 foul. He's always dangerous, no matter how many minutes he gets. Moving over to the right side, we have Fuller and Balogun of Monaco. And Balogun played the full 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw over the weekend. Overall, he was kind of average in this match with 2 shots on target on 27 touches. Due to roster limitations, he's actually going to be our right-sided attacker this week. And up top, we're going to have Patrick Agyemang. Agyemang started and played 85 minutes for Derby County and scored over the weekend. Credit to him for cleaning up the trash and putting the ball in the back of the net. Along with that, he had 28 touches and completed 9 of his 10 passes. Again, the overall quality for Agyemang might not be there, but he's producing in the championship, and we can't fully ignore that. All right, guys, that's everything I've got for you this weekend. Let me know what your thoughts are. How much of a mess is this starting 11? I know it's not perfect. Leave a like and a comment in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.